Yes, 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 we're here. We're here. We're here. We're here. And indeed, what a difference a day can make in terms of explorations of self-awareness and appreciation and connection with others. It is an amazing time for humanity to awaken to itself, to feel more confident in loving each other and loving self than focusing on the differences that you have between yourselves that you perceive as differences. And we are sharing with you our connections to you as we are almost magnetizing your soul families to each other. And like any good families, there is always going to be amazing connections of triggering to be able to inspire you all to grow. You may just be triggered to revalue and reassess. Is there someone's opinion that is cast upon me that has validity? And so you're stopping and questioning all. And this is brilliant for you all to stop and question and explore all of your behaviors and your routines, because we still see some of you who have outgrown stepping stones but are still applying the information from those stepping stones as if they are current information and perspectives that you need to live and have in your daily lives and routines as you're connecting them with each other to be able to explore and express and experience the range of emotions and feelings and senses that you have amongst each other and within yourselves. So it is a fantastic time for you to be able to heal together by sharing together, by talking together, by able to verbalize what is going on for you. This is a marvelous time for you to listen to each other and to hear what is going on for each other. Well, some of you love the opportunity to give your opinions and advice, and you always do that with love. There is some also important times for people to express and keep expressing with just open ears from the others that are listening and holding space for them, as you would say. Because when they are not distracted by other people's input and opinions, they get to go on their own personal expression journey to be able to completely explore all what is going on for them and for you as a supporter. You can just hear what they are sharing and keep your attention and your focus with compassion, with love, to listen intently and supportive as you hear what they want to share with you, respecting this as a beautiful gift that they are sharing and confiding and trusting you with. Do not break their trust by casting judgment or dismissing or belittling any of their feelings. All feelings are emotionally important. All feelings have got great significance. And so when someone is slowly trying to come out of their emotional shell to finally purge and share, and we can say to you, when those people start trusting you, that you're going to hear all of the things that are going on for them, they're not asking you to solve or fix them or give them advice. They're asking and inviting you to just allow them to express with you so they can finally heal for themselves, to feel for themselves, to hear for themselves what is going on for them. It is significant for all to be able to take turns in expressing freely. We say that for some of you who are wanting to quickly solve what is going on for each other, can be trying to advance the stepping stones of their journey to have self-discovery. If they have not had their own discoveries of their own inner work and perspectives to be able to grow from it, because someone has given them the answers, you may be hijacking their learning growth. if you try to do some of their learning for them and their inner work for them, you could be not trusting them enough to be able to learn for themselves. And we are saying when you are so busy trying to find the answers for them, you're not hearing the solutions, which is allowing them to explore and explore and explore and explore and explore all their feelings. And they may even suddenly start discussing things that happened to them 27 years ago as if it was yesterday, and it might bring up a lot of emotions. And instead of just saying what's in the past, forget about it, get over it, move on, allow them to explore why it could be significant that they are feeling this again today. Do not belittle them. And if you catch them trying to belittle themselves by saying, this is crazy, I don't know where this is coming from, oh, that's just silly of me to have brought this up now. When you are hearing them have self-talk, this is negative self-talk, you're allowed to step in and say, you're being so hard on yourselves. Allow yourself to feel this way. There is no harm in thinking. There is no harm in feeling. There is only harm in suppression. So see who is still trying to suppress themselves. And we suggest, as we have before, to ask each of you, how does it make you feel? How does that there make you feel? Tell me more about that. I want to hear how that makes you feel. Because this is inviting them to trust you again, to be able to be vulnerable and open. And when you just listen and listen and accept and accept and accept, and do not react as if this is your personal attack on you. People's experiences and emotions, even if they're the most closest person to you, you know when you have spiritual maturity, when you don't react to other people's emotions, because you know you choose your own range of emotions. And so when you are supporting others to heal by listening to them, hold complete neutral space, allow them to say anything that they need to say to get off their chest. It's only their perspective. It is only their opinion. And when you love yourself and know your agenda, you do not need to react to other people's accusations when you know within yourself that everything you did truly came from love. And if, for example, those times where some of them, those experiences were you not truly coming from love, but you truly coming from ego to be able to coerce people into your way of thinking, into your way of dealing with things. And there are so many examples we could give you all, and you know when you have been able to listen and not jump in with opinions, but allow them to explore their own journey and be remembering that you have front seat privilege of supporting them through this. Some of you find that when you allow people to just be sharing with you, they will go deeper and deeper and deeper into their own personal journey. And you will actually hear and learn more about them as much as they are learning and hearing more about themselves. That is a gift that you are sharing with each other. Please do not overlook the simple conversation, communication that you can simply share with each other. And it could be complete strangers waiting for the bus. It could be complete strangers being in queue for something. It could be complete strangers who just happen to be magnetized to each other, even in an online conversation. There is no such thing as random occurrences and connections. You're all beautifully connected to each other because you're all one. And so while you're trying to lend a hand, we want to remind those who are curious and confused about why they can feel deeply other people's emotions. This is for you to be able to use that, to be able to help you be guided, to be able to encourage those who are still curious to identify their own range of emotions, to get them to see if it is truly what you are sensing. When you are feeling someone is scared, you do not need to feel scared, and you certainly do not need to feel judging upon those who feel scared. You simply observe, not absorb, the feelings that they are representing and expressing to thee. And so when you can feel other people's emotions, keep that to yourself, knowing that your role is to inspire them to let go of anything that no longer serves them and to see things from a positivity experience, a human earth experience, where there is no such thing as good or bad, but lessons to be able to unpack and feel from, to be able to have reference to be able to have different choices if this choice is not serving them. You do not need to keep eating the pickled ice cream to understand you do not like it. And so, therefore, in this analogy, when you overreact and feel a certain way that doesn't serve you, you know for next time that you do not need to keep holding on to worry for others, as you trust that it is their job and their responsibility to do their own inner work, and not your responsibility to feel into their own fear. Because how are you serving others when you are simply reacting to their feelings? You are supposed to feel into their feelings to be able to assist and guide them out of whatever is no longer serving them. We see some of you empaths, as you would call yourselves, afraid to explore and hear the pains and problems that others have that they need to express and share to learn and hear and grow from. Because you're so afraid that if you hear it, you'll feel it and it will become you. And this is, again, another reason why you simply just need to observe the emotions, because you're understanding this is true. They do feel this way. I can have empathy because I could simply easily jump in and dip in and feel that emotion if I chose to. But you've already identified the range of emotions that they are feeling and displaying to you. And because you've already experienced it yourself and overcome it and understood what was the purpose and principles of those experiences to be able to help you learn to grow back into love and neutral and inner peace balance, you understand you do not need to match their frequency, but it gives you a stronger clarification of what's going on. Remembering some is so foreign to what they are feeling, they cannot identify accurately their inner feelings versus the labels and terms that you would identify those emotions to be. We understand, we've expressed this before, the difference between anger and hurt. And when you're feeling emotionally hurt and you're feeling so frustrated that you can't be unhurt, you can't let that hurt go, and you can't change that hurt because that's your perspective and belief system that that hurt can never be changed or transmuted or evolved or learned from or released, it becomes so great that the reaction to the reaction of feeling hurt is anger. And so are you looking at a secondary reaction emotion level, or are you going to go to the root cause? Some of you empaths are afraid to deal with people who express anger because you, again, take it as a personal attack. We've used the reference that these people who are hurt and showing you their hurt are cactuses with prickly spikes for protection because they are so vulnerable within them, inside them. And if you cut a cactus in half, you could see the gooey softness within them. But the prickles are their defense mechanism. So they could try to keep hurting you to show you where their hurt is. When you have balance and neutrality and self-love and self-respect, the people who are trying to hurt you to simply show you where they are hurt, if you react to this, their communication is over. Finding your balance while having these conflicts is going to be when you truly have known that you have done enough of your inner work to master your own choices of emotions, to be able to identify what is your feelings, what is your accusations, who you are, and how you are towards others. and being able to identify what is going on for them. You could notice that you feel the emotions and it starts making you feel what you consider anxious. And so, as soon as you can identify and address the feelings that they are sharing with you energetically, you can release that. We're saying it would be unkind for you to project those feelings back to the person who is struggling. You carry that energy of density and you transmute it down through the ground to return energy for someone who is already struggling. Would amplify that. That is like kicking a dog who is already down. Do you understand how that could not be a positive thing for someone who's supposed to be so compassionate and have empathy for others to simply throw that negative energy back at them when they are showing you with vulnerability and rawness and authenticity what they're struggling with? We see so many using spiritual names as egos to be able to think that they're advanced and beyond each other. And if you don't understand the full significance of being an empath to feel each other, and then you feel someone's energy and then you judge them and throw the energy back towards them as punishment, this is not why you have that skill set. So we suggest for all to do your inner work, to love yourself and respect all senses, and to be able to accept everyone as being part of source, and that source loves all. And at soul levels, you do love all, no exceptions. And this may be hard for some of you as you're wanting to still punish those who haven't been, in your perspective, perfect or good or empowering you or loving you or there for you. And so some of you have more expectations on others than you have of yourself. If you expect others to love you more than you're actually actively loving self, we have some suggestions for you. And we say balance and humble your egos and be able to know that you're very capable of loving yourself. You're very capable of connecting into source love energy, and to be able to go within and connect within and ground yourself and balance yourself and not cast judgment, such as good and bad, good and evil. There is no such thing from our perspective. It is all human experiences. But as we know, humans love the dramatics. You also love the dramatic names to judge others with. And so there is no real excuses for you to not have love in your hearts and high frequency, and be able to empower and inspire all to be able to connect in with themselves. The hardest part, some of you seem to want to block yourself from doing your inner work and loving yourself, is because you don't want to be responsible for your old choices. And so you're in this challenging duo balance of forgiving yourself, forgiving the guilt that you carry for those choices you had, to then be able to step into true love of self. Some of you are angry of your past choices because you now know better. But because you now know better, holding judgment on self also doesn't serve you. And so we say, please slow down the mind and hear your internal dialogue for everything, and question yourself in everything you do, whether it is food choices, sleeping choices, clothing choices, emotional choices, reactions, everything. Slow it down and question, where is the origin of this behavior and this pattern of routine for everything, emotionally, physically, spiritually. This will quickly highlight old belief systems that no longer serve you. If there is a fear and worry, address it, honor it, nurture it, love it, heal from it, grow from it, and be grateful for the experiences, because you do not have to repeat them again. That does not need to be your limitation again. Facing your fears can be scary, but because you know you're unbreakable, you're always protected, you're always safe, empower yourself through it. Growth is fantastic and so uplifting. And when you have the courage and bravery to look at your past experiences with compassion for yourself and compassion for others who are teaching you those lessons, you will grow faster than you could ever imagine. And we'll leave this with you. And we say this with much love.